to tonight's recap of Survivor.
Well, it starts off in Galang.
After Tribal Council.
Right. Vetus tells the girls what they want to hear.
They're like, oh yeah, it's so good that we kept you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I know, right?
And Tina, I can't believe she does this, basically tells Monica, you're the bottom. You're at the bottom of the totem pole.
She was like, oh yeah, she should be happy to be number 5 in this 6-person alliance. And at first, I wasn't looking at the TV, and I thought that she was just talking to Vetus or something. But then they panned the camera, and Monica's standing right there. She's like, oh yeah,
Awkward.
for sure.
All
What?
right.
Is this crazy land?
Yes. Laura B arrives at Redemption, and she thinks that everybody made a bad choice.
I do too.
Yeah.
They really should have taken out Vetus, but
What are you gonna
do
do? Tribe has spoken. So it's the final duel. It's an endurance, and it's a pole hang.
and it's John, Laura B, and Laura M.
All right. So Laura B had.
Well, let's just clarify.
Okay.
The person who hangs onto the pole the longest is returning to the game.
And the other 2 scrubs.
Get out.
Put your buff in the fire. So Laura B had a pretty rough start. She
was
started
sliding
sliding
down
down immediately. But she made a recovery, and she kind of stabilized.
It was one of those poles that had like multiple footholds, so you could keep sliding down
Right.
as you get weaker and weaker and closer to death.
Yes.
So
And I'm pretty sure it's like over 100 degrees there at times.
it looks pretty hot.
And there's no shade there in the Redemption Duel Arena. It is all in the sun.
Well, even though Laura B was looking very shaky, John was the first one out.
Right. And then...
Even after he kicked off his shoes.
Right. Laura M was all like, look, I am not going anywhere. I am playing for my daughter, Sierra. So, Laura B, you might as well just drop.
Laura B got all the way down to the bottom of her pole. It was basically like squatting
sad.
above the ground.
Sad.
It was weird, and she was out. So that means that Laura M returns to the game.
All right. So, Laura M gets to give someone a clue, including herself.
Well, because in other news, the merge just happened.
Uh-oh, hot dog.
It's
drop
one
your
tribe.
box. Right. So, she decides to give the clue to the fire.
That's no fun.
I know.
Well, because the merge just happened, they got some party food.
Let's play Eat the Salami. That salami looked pretty amazing. Even
I would
for
not let
vegetarian.
Tyson control the food output, handing out the food,
But
because
no one knows.
he's handing it out to himself.
Exactly. Sierra's pretty worried about her mom coming back in the game.
It's really sad because her mom was like, yeah, I'm playing this game for Sierra, blah, blah, blah. I told her I'm coming back, and Sarah's like, ugh, she's back again.
I hope my mom won't mess up my game. All right, so she has to tell her mom, I'm in an alliance. She didn't say we're in an alliance.
She's like, I'm in an alliance, so back off.
Yeah. So the mom's all like assuming that she's in the alliance as well, but maybe not necessarily.
Should never assume. So Tyson found out the hidden immunity idol clues a few weeks back when the tribe switched.
Right.
And Hayden was like, here's the clues. So he went out and he found the hidden immunity idol.
They didn't seem that hard. I don't know why anybody hadn't found them to date. I mean...
Only one person had the clues.
Still, I don't see why they couldn't have figured it out.
Well, that's not true because he told...
Yeah, didn't he tell her? Yeah. John
still.
told them, right?
Yes.
All right, so Tyson does find the hidden immunity idol. He only had his teeny tiny shorts on, so I don't know how he snuck it back into camp because he wasn't hardly wearing anything.
I don't know, but he said he's not telling anybody until he has to.
All right.
So with the merge, that means that Scar and Mufasa...
AKA Aris and Vitas, reunite. And they got a little alliance of 7 going, or so they think.
So it's those 2, Tina, Katie, Monica, Jervis, and Tyson, if they have to.
They're kind of like the loved ones from that are singles.
What?
They're like a couple.
There's 2 couples. Oh, you mean Tyson and Jervis.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right, so Tyson is really getting annoyed by Monica. And I don't blame him.
He's
she
like,
was
Monica,
redonkulous.
this is what's happening. And she was like, but what if we did this? Are you sure Jervis is with you?
Are you 100% sure? Are you sure he's not going to do it? Are you sure? He wanted to stab his eyeballs out and then eat them.
I don't think he mentioned eating them.
All right, well, he's hungry.
All right, well, it was time for the immunity challenge, which is individual now because of the merge.
And I thought for sure it was going to be an endurance because it usually is typically after the merge.
He just had an endurance, though.
Exactly. So I thought, oh, what are they going to do? Well, it's an old Simon Says, repeat the symbols.
I was really good at this.
I suck at this. I was getting a headache just watching.
Well, so did Monica. She was out first because Jeff went through. He had this little block.
He must have gone through like 7.
Well, no, they had blocks. He had like little paddle.
He had a little tile. And he must have gone through like 6 or 7, and you had to repeat it back. But there's like talking in between. It's so annoying. Jeff, shut up. They're just trying to play the game.
Well, like I said, Monica was out first.
On the first run, they knocked out Monica, Caleb, Katie, and Tyson, Tina, and Hayden. Holy crap, they got all those out just on the first try.
Mm-hmm. And then the second time through, Laura, Sierra, and Jervis were out. So it came down to Aris and Vetus.
What?
Scar and Mufasa, again!
Good versus evil. And Vetus prevailed. He won, in case you don't know what prevail means.
What is this, a Lemony Snicket book? Alright.
So, back at the old tribe, Kasama, which I guess is the name now, which I don't think they explained, but... And I thought Jeff was going to ask about it at Tribal Council, but...
They didn't have time for that.
Maybe they didn't get to think up their own name because of the stupid names they've come up with in the past. Maybe they were assigned a name this time.
I don't know.
So, it looks like it's going to be Laura and Sierra.
No, it doesn't.
To the untrained eye. That's going to be voted off. But, there's a sub-plan going on in the sub-basement to get rid of Aris.
I mean, this has been building up for weeks, so...
Right. They didn't have the opportunity to do it, though, to pull the trigger. So, at Tribal, Jeff wants to know, are these couples working together? May I probe a little further? Laura is in danger of going.
You didn't answer the question.
They may be.
Okay.
If they were smart, they would be. So, Laura is in danger of going also. There's a lot of different plans here going on, because... Typically, after redemption, the one who comes back in the game, the first tribal, the person who comes back typically gets voted off. So she's in danger. And there's the whole scenario of couples versus individuals, you know, the
original tribes,
right.
New tribes.
So who knows what's going on?
I don't know.
Laura's taking advice from her daughter. Do you really think that's smart?
Probably not.
I don't think her daughter should take advice from her either.
Well, it's time for the vote, and Tyson did not play the hidden immunity idol.
It's safely tucked away. So, it's a freaking Aris blindside. What? Shocker to Aris anyway, not to 7 other people. So, it's redemption for him. I knew they would bring redemption back, so he's going to have another chance to get back in the game. Next time, the game gets ugly. It looks like a little showdown between Tina's alliance, which might have included Tyson, but not anymore.
She feels betrayed.
Yeah, well, I would too.
And it's a gross food eating challenge, so that's always fun.
Anybody catch that from the, Oh, Jervis. Till next time, much love.